चैतन्यदेवम् श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सगना ललिता चैतन्य विशाखान्वितांश्च श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat pranams to all. Today is Papa Mochana Ekadashi and fasting from the grains. We welcome all of you for the today's morning program Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. As usual, on Ekadashi day, we will play the video class by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and today also we will be playing. The topic is that saving the independent from hell. It is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 1. Hare Krishna, give me 1 minute, let me play.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Adhuna Iha Mahabhaga Jathaiva Narakat Naraha Nana Ugra Jatanan Niyat Tanme Vyakhatum Arhasi Atuneha Mahabhaga Jathaiva Narakan Nara nanugra jasana nehat tanme vyakhatum arhasi. So, Sukadeva Goswami, the whole Bhagavad is talking between the spiritual master and the disciple. Sukadeva Goswami is the spiritual master and Maharaj Parikshit, king, he is the disciple. At the time of his death, he had only 7 days remaining. He was aware that only 7 days remaining. So Maharaj Parikshit left his kingdom and sat down on the bank of the Ganges, and fortunately his spiritual master also came. So there was discussion on the Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days. This 7 days discussion is imitated by the professional Bhagavad reciters in India. But that is not required. We have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam daily. Parikshit Maharaj had only 7 days left in his life. Therefore, he hurriedly finished the reading of Bhagavatam, but of course he had 7 days assured. We haven't got 7 minutes assured. We can die at any moment. Anyway, the recommendation is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. We should read Srimad Bhagavatam daily. Simply go on reading. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Nasta prayashu abhadrishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. We have no taste for reading and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, but the taste will be created if we, even by force, sit down and attend Bhagavad class. The taste will be created. How it will be created? Just like a person suffering from jaundice, if you give him sugar candy, it will be tasted by him as bitter. This is very practical example. He will say the patient suffering from jaundice, he will say it is bitter. But sugar candy is not bitter. And at the same time, for jaundice diseased man, the sugar candy is the only medicine. If you give him sugar candy, water, sugar cane, then he will be cured very soon. And papaya, these things are recommended for jaundice patient. Similarly, the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam may not be liked by me in the beginning, but if we hear, just like a child does not want to go to school, but if you force him to go gradually, he'll go automatically. This is the process. So, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, and his disciple Maharaj Parikshit was hearing. So at the end, this is the 6th chapter of 6th canto. There are 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is 6th canto. And at the end of the 5th canto, the Parikshit Maharaj was informed about the hellish planets, this universe. There are different types of planets. Jasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti. Jasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti. Kotishu asesha vasudhadi vibhuti vinnam. This universe is one of the universes. There are millions of universes. We do not know even one universe. We cannot study even one universe. They were not trying to go to the moon planet. But that has become a failure. From Shastra we understand that the moon planet is situated 1,600,000 miles away from the sun.
और ये सुंदर सा घर अगर हमें बनाना है भगवान श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश का, तो इसके लिए आप लोग कंट्रीब्यूट करते
हैं. And the sun is situated in the middle of the universe. And the total diameter from one circumference to the other of the universe, it is 4 billions of miles. So the sun is situated at the point of 2 billions of miles from the circumference of the universe, and above the sun planet, 1,600,000, there is the moon. And above that, there is Venus, there is Jupiter, there is Mars, all difference of 1,600,000 miles. So, it is not possible to go to the moon planet because, first of all, the sun is a little, according to the modern scientist calculation, is in 93 million. Taking it accepted 93 million from this earthly planet, then again add 1,600,000. That means 94,600,000 miles away from the earth, there is the moon planet. It is not possible. Therefore they are now silent. They cannot go there, neither ever they went there. This is the conclusion. So, that's a controversial point. Controversial, but we have to see the result. According to Vedic culture, one has to judge by the result, not by if you simply talk nonsense. One has to accept. What is the result? Suppose one says that I have done very good business, I have earned so much money, I have got in bank balance. You can say all these things. But one sees that a prosperous businessman has got a nice house, nice motor car, his standard of living is very nice. But if he is loitering in the street, has no good dress, and if he advertises himself that I am a very big businessman, I have got so much money, who will believe him? Similarly, this moon planet expedition is up to this date, it is a failure. So how can I believe that they have gone there? So this universe is fully described in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. You will see it, which planet, where it is situated, what is the dimension, what kind of people live there, everything is there. Similarly, there are descriptions of the hellish planet, downwards. So that description of those planets, when Parikshit Maharaj heard it, that these sinful men, they are suffering there. some of them being fried in boiling oil. This description is there. Some of them put into the river which is full of germs and mosquitoes. And some of them are forced to embrace a hot iron man, a hot iron woman. In this way there are many descriptions, and Sukadeva Goswami concluded, Maharaj, I have described a few of them. There are many thousands and thousand kinds of suffering. The Parikshit Maharaj is a Vaishnava. Vaishnava means devotee. So he did not appreciate the suffering of the human being in such a way. That is Vaishnava's nature. Vaishnava himself is very happy because he is in direct connection with Krishna. He personally has no complaint because Vaishnava is satisfied simply by serving Krishna. That's all. He doesn't want anything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at least teaches us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Na dhanang, na janang, na sundaring, kavitang va jagadisha kaman. Dhanang means wealth, and janang means many followers or family members, big family, big factory. There are many businessmen, they are running on big factories, and thousands of men are working at his direction. And this is also opulence. And to have great amount of money, that is also opulence. Dhanam, janam. And another opulence, to have a very nice wife, beautiful, obedient, very pleasing. But these are material necessities. People generally aspire for these three things. Wealth, many followers, and a good wife at home. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no dhanam, I don't want money. Just the opposite. Everyone wants money. He says, no, I don't want money. Na dhanam, na janam. I don't want many men as my followers. And just the opposite. Everyone wants. The politicians, the yogis, the swamis, everyone wants. There may be hundreds and thousands of my followers. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, I don't want. The politicians, the yogis, the swamis, everyone wants. There may be hundreds and thousands of my followers. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, I don't want. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundaring, kavitang va jagadisha kamaya. Neither I want very nice, beautiful, obedient wife. Then what do you want? Mama Janmani Shari Bhavatad Bhakti Rahitaki. Life after life, let me remain a faithful servant of your Lord. This is Vaishnava. He doesn't want anything. Why he would want? If he becomes servant of Krishna, then what does he want? Suppose if you become servant of a very, very big man, then what is the question of your want? This is intelligence. Any servant of any big man, he is bigger than his master. Because master is given so many varieties of food, master takes little and the balance the servants eat. So, where is his want? There is no question of want. Just try to become servant of God and all your necessities will be sufficiently fulfilled. This is intelligence. Just like a rich man's child. Does he want anything from fathers? No. He simply wants father, mother. The father and mother knows what does he want, how he will be happy. That is the duty of the father and mother. Similarly, this is very good intelligence. Just to try to become the sincere servant of Krishna, all your necessities of life will be sufficiently supplied. There is no question of asking. Therefore, intelligent devotee, they do not ask. Like the unintelligent devotee, go to the church and pray to God, give us our daily bread. The God's servant, and he will not get your bread, you have to ask from God? No. God is giving bread to the 8 million other living entities, birds, beasts, tigers, elephants. They are not going to the church for asking bread, but they are getting it. So if God is supplying everyone food, why He shall not supply you? He is supplying. So we should not go to God for making some material benefit. That is not actual devotion. We shall go to God for begging how one can be engaged in His service. That should be the begging. Hare Krishna means, Hare means, oh the energy of God, and Krishna, oh Krishna, Lord Krishna, please engage me in your service. This is Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. It is simply praying, oh my Lord Krishna, oh Srimati Radharani, Krishna's energy, kindly engage me in your service. That's all. Finish. All business. This is Vaishnava. So Vaishnava has no necessity. He knows that I have no necessity. My only business is to serve Krishna. So he is happy in all conditions. So Parikshit Maharaj is a Vaishnava. From his childhood, he is a Vaishnava. So he has no unhappiness. But when he heard that so many sinful persons are going to the hell and they are suffering in this way, he became very sorry. That is Vaishnava. Paradukha dukhi. He is unhappy by seeing others unhappy. He has personally no unhappiness. But he is paradukha dukhi. As like Prahlad Maharaj, all the Vaishnava you will see, that's like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Tattva Sudhushchita Surepsita Rajya King Dharmishtayajavatasā Jadagadharanyam Maya Mrigang Daitaye Sitamanna Dhava Bande Mahapurusati Charanā. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born in a very highly respectable Brahman family. He was personally very, very beautiful. His name is Gaur Sundar. And very learned scholar. At the age of 16 years, he defeated a very learned scholar from Kashmir. So, he was very influential. When he was 20 years old, the Kaji broke the Mridanga in Sankirtan. Kaji means the Muslim magistrate. And he started the civil disobedience movement. And he called for 1 lakh of men, 100,000 men, to join the Sankirtan and go to the Kaji's house. Immediately it was done. Just see how much influential he was. So far, material condition, he had his very affectionate mother. He was the only son of his mother, all brothers and sisters died. And his wife was very lucky Priya died first, then he married second time, Vishnu Priya. So, very happy life. But he left. Surev Sitarajya King. He was so happy in his family life that even the demigods cannot expect such happiness. Surev Sita. Sura means demigod. They had no so much happiness. Tattva, but he gave up. Why? Maya mrigang daitayev sitamanna dhava. He took this mission just to show mercy to the fallen conditioned souls who are suffering in this material world. That was it.
और ये सुंदर सा घर अगर हमें बनाना है भगवान श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश का, तो इसके लिए आप लोग कंट्रीब्यूट कर।
Similarly, the Goswamis, just like Rupa Goswami, he was Prime Minister in the government, and about him it is said that Tatta Turnam Masesa Mandalapati Saning Sada Tucha. He gave up such exalted post as Minister of the government, Chief Minister of the government, and Tatta Turnam Asesa Mandalapati Saning. As a minister, his association was with very big men, Mandalapati. Mandalapati means very big leaders. Actually, big merchant, big businessman, big industrialist, big politician, they used to visit him. So he gave up this company. Sada Tuchava. What is this nonsense? What is the use of meeting all these men? Tattvasu namasi samandalapati sani sada tuchava. And what they become? Bhutta dina ganesha kau karunaya kaupi na kanthas. Here is the Goswami's photo. You can see how they have become mendicant. A small loin cloth, one water pot only, that's all. Finished. No position. So, why? Bhutyadina Ganesha Kau Karunaya. They wanted to show their mercy to the suffering humanity. So in this way, they adopted, changed their life. That is Vaishnava. Vaishnava personally has no demand for life, no unhappiness. He is completely satisfied with Krishna. But he is unhappy by seeing other conditioned souls suffering. This is Vaishnava. And many examples. Prahlad Maharaj also said the same thing. So here also, Parikshit Maharaj, he heard so many things, but he is very much perplexed that how these suffering men who are put into this hellish condition of life, not all, some of them. So he is asking, my dear sir, you have explained so many things, they are very nice. Adhuna, just now, you have, in this connection, Mahabhaga, oh the great fortunate, Mahabhaga, Jathaiva Narakat Nara, Jathaiva, as and as, from this hellish condition, Narakat, from the hell, no, the human being Nana ugra jatanan. They are put into the hell means they are suffering very severe type of pains. Nana ugra jatanan niyat. They become free. Tanme bhakhatam maras. Now, leaving aside all other topics, kindly let me know how these men can be delivered from this hellish condition of life. This is his prashna. So, we may declare very foolishly that we are independent. That is the foolishness of the modern civilization. They are not independent, nobody. Everyone is dependent. But because they are dependent and there are so many sufferings awaiting them for their so-called independent life, they do not believe in the next life. This is the special feature of the modern civilization. They say big professor, big leader. No, there is no life after death. This is once we get and finished. That is also another foolishness. Just like a child, he knows that his body will be changed. Nobody will remain a baby, nobody will remain a child, nobody will remain a boy. Next life is awaiting. It is very simple philosophy. And then after this body, another body is waiting. That's a fact. And not only fact, if you cannot understand it, there is no difficulty in understanding. But the authority says, Krishna says, Tatha dehantara prapti. As we are changing from this body to that body, this body to that body, this body to that body, every moment, according to medical science, every moment we are changing body. That's a fact. But the changing is going so swiftly that we do not see how it is being changed. But if you come after some years, just like we are seeing so many children, and if you come some years after, his father says, this is the same child. Oh, he will say, oh, because he has changed body. You will say, oh, he has become so big. So it is a fact that you are changing body, and Krishna says this example that as we are changing, even in this life, the body, similarly, we shall have to change this body. The authority says, and we are practical example is there, why we should not believe in the next life. Even a child can understand, but they are trying to avoid next life. That is their philosophy. If there are next life, and next life one is going to put into the hell, and suffering is there, to dismiss this problem, they do not believe in next life. This is the real fact. But actually, this is the fact. If you live irresponsibly, then you have to suffer.
Dialogue.
So, not that all living entities are going to the hell, but some of them, because most of the living entities, they are less than the human being. 8,400,000. So 8 millions, they are below the humans standard of life. Human being, they are animals. Jalajana Lokkani Savara Lokkavincha. 9 lakhs, 100,000 in the water, different types of forms, body, then then plants, trees, then insects, then birds, then beasts, then human being. This is the evolution. So, these 8 million different forms of body below the human being, they are not punishable because they are animals. They have no intelligence. Then again, amongst the human beings, those who are intelligent, those who are acting according to the Vedic instruction, they will not be also suffering. Those who are avoiding the instruction of the Vedas, they will be put into the hellish condition of life. So this question was raised by Parikshit Maharaj, that you have already described, that he did not disbelieve. He believed because he is Vaishnava, he knows, and his disciple of Sukadeva Goswami, so he has thorough knowledge. Now he is anxious. This is the symptom of Vaishnava, that he cannot see others as suffering. Therefore he takes, just like Lord Jesus Christ, Vaishnava. For others suffering, he agreed to be crucified. But the followers are so unfaithful, they are settled up, that let Christ suffer for us and let us go on committing sin. Very good conclusion. They love Christ so that, my dear Christ, you suffer for our sinful activities and let us go on with our sinful activities. Christ says, thou shalt not kill. They decided, let us kill on and open scientific slaughterhouse, and if there is any sin, then Christ will suffer, then so. He has taken the agency of suffering. Very good conclusion. No, the Vaishnava can take the sufferings for you, but you should be saying that why I shall put such and such Vaishnava into suffering for my sinful activity. Let me stop this sinful activity. That is intelligence. Not that I give the suffering portion to Christ and let me go on committing all sinful activities. That is not it. But that will not be, that is not the fact. Suppose one is very pet son of his father, and he commits murder, and if he thinks, if there is any punishment, my father will suffer. Will it be done? Will it be done? When he is arrested, if he says, no, you can release me, you can arrest my father, because I am very pet son of my father. So will the government will do that? That you have committed murder and your father will be arrested? No. This is quite unreasonable. But you have committed murder, you must be hanged. Nor your father, nor your son, nor your brother. This is the law. So, that is the law. If you commit sinful life, then you must suffer. Not anyone else. But you are thinking like that. That let me go on doing all nonsense and somebody for me will suffer. No, that is not the law. So here Parikshit Maharaj does not raise such foolish question that who is suffering for. He is suffering. One who has committed sinful life, he must suffer. That is the law. So the answer is Sukadeva Goswami, Nachedi haiva pachiting jata jathang hasa kritasya kujyat manavukta pani bhi Dhruvam savai preta narakanupaiti je kirtitami bhavatas tigmajatana. So Sukadeva Goswami replied, my dear king, the sinful activities must be atoned. Then there are three processes: karma, jnana, bhakti. The yoga is within the jnana. To improve our condition, there are different processes. One is called karma. Just like generally people are trying to elevate his position, economic condition, working day and night very hard. Similarly, we can also work very hard for our future happiness. We can promote ourselves in the heavenly planets, and we can degrade ourselves to the hellish planets also, both ways. Because as soon as we are engaged in karma, unknowingly or knowingly, we commit some sinful activities. This is the position. Just like, even if I do not like to kill any animal, still while walking we are killing many animals, many ants on the street, unwillingly. So that is also taken into account.
और ये सुंदर सा घर अगर हमें बनाना है भगवान श्री रुक्नी द्वारकाधीश का, तो इसके लिए आप लोग कंट्रीब्यूट कर
You cannot kill even an ant. So the karma kanda is not very safe. Even if we want to act very piously, the danger is not over. There are many instances. There was one king, he was very charitable and he was giving cows, many cows to the Brahmanas, and you'll find this story in the Krishna book. So there was some mistake. One Brahmana was taking another Brahmana's cows and both of them fought, and they persisted. The owner wanted, I want this cow returned back. And the king offered that you, instead of this cow, you take 10 cows from me. You settle up. No, he would not do that. In this way, there was some misunderstanding, and the Brahmin cursed him, as a result of which he had to become what is called? A lizard. Just see, this karma kanda. He had to become a lizard. The Krishna delivered him. So this is karma kanda. If there is little discrepancy, then there is great risk. Then jnana kanda. Jnana kanda means to understand things very properly. So jnana kanda is simply speculation, because there is no knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is also risky. So only Bhakti Marga is not risky. Bhakti Marga means devotion, the path of devotion. Because this material life means contamination of the three modes of material nature. Either you are on the goodness, or in the passion, or in ignorance. There is chance of falling down from one platform to another, so long you are on the material platform. But if you remain on the spiritual platform, just like we are trying to keep you on the spiritual platform, that is Bhakti Yoga, always engaged in devotional service, then you are above all these material qualities. That is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Mancha abhyavicharini bhakti yogena ja sevate sa gunana samatita etana brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Anyone who is fully, constantly, 24 hours engaged, abhyavicharini without any stoppage. Therefore I want that in our temple there should be program that we are always engaged in devotion and service. 24 hours. But because we have got this material body, we require a little rest. The minimum rest, as minimum as possible. Because the sleeping means waste of time. We are supposed to be engaged 24 hours in the service of the Lord, but as it is not possible, we have to sleep, take little rest. So that should be the minimum. Because the whole period, sleeping means waste. So, all these Goswamis, they used to sleep not more than 2 hours. That was also not possible in some days. They are so busy in writing books and all that. So, this should be minimized and we should be engaged 24 hours. If we remain engaged in that way, we have got so many engagements. We are daily singing. I do not know whether you understand the meaning. Sri Vigrahara Dhananittanana Singarutan Mandiramarjanadu Jiktascha Bhaktangscha Nijunjatu Pi Bandi Virasri Charanaramindam. We have got Sri Vigraha. The Sri Vigraha Seva, all rising early in the morning, arrange for Mangalarutri, then dressing, then offering food, then Arutri. So many hours. The whole day can be used in that way. Then reading books, class, taking care of the temple, tanmandira marjanadu. Don't think that if one is engaged in the deity worship and if one is engaged in the gardening work, there is distinction. No. The one who is working as a gardener, he is as good as the one who is dressing the deity. Because it is absolute plain. There is no difference between, just like in the material world, if one is working as manager and the other is working as menial servant, there is difference of pay or difference of service. No. In the spiritual world, there is no such thing. In the spiritual world, even a small ant who is serving Krishna, by chance, suppose if there is an ant and the flower is thrown into the lotus feet of Krishna, and the ant kisses the lotus feet of Krishna, he is as good as the pujari. This is spiritual world. So we should give everyone chance how to serve Krishna. Then he will remain on the upper platform. Samatita. Atita means transcending. Etan gunan. Etan gunan means because the material world is complicated with more some material nature. So this is called guna. So anyone who is engaged constantly in devotional service, sagunan samatittayetan, he immediately transcends the influence of the material qualities. Sagunan samatittayetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So these things will be discussed, that such person is not meant for going to the hell. No. They are not meant. It is stated that such devotees, they will not in dream also see what is Hari's condition of life. That's so guaranteed. Now, this Hari's condition of life is meant for the persons who are rotting in these material modes of nature, and if you remain above the influence of material nature, always being engaged in devotional service, we have got varieties of service, we have got such program. So if somewhere or other, if we remain engaged always in devotional service, then there is no question of downfall or going to the Hari's condition of life. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna devotees, thanks a lot for patience hearing. It was very very nice class. Like initially, I was thinking saving the independent from hell. So then, like in between, Prabhupada mentioned we foolishly think that we are independent. So how to save this so-called independent thinking from the hell?